Hello girls, welcome to Free Week. Okay, so I know that a lot of you have talked about how you do not like free weeks because you never know what to talk about, and I think that it's the same for me, but at the same time I really like free weeks because when I do come up with a topic that I really want to talk about, I write it down and then I save it for however long I need to save it for until the next free week comes along. And so that is kind of what I'm talking about today. I'm wanting to talk about eating. Yeah, I know. So I've been trying to get back on track with eating good foods and not, loading up on a lot of bad stuff, and it's been very difficult, but only at certain times of the day. I do really good in the morning. I wake up, I'm motivated, I'm like, I'm gonna have an egg and some fruit and a glass of almond milk, and then I have lunch and I'm really good and I don't snack between anything. And then the nighttime rolls around and I have my dinner, but I'm oh so tempted to have a dessert or to have something a little extra before bedtime, especially on days where I have to come home really late from work. Like by the time I get home, I'm like, oh, I kind of really want to eat something, but it's 11 o'clock at night and I probably shouldn't because I know that I'm going to be going to sleep in an hour. So nighttime hunger, pains, and woes. I guess I want to kind of know if anyone else goes through that and what they do to curb it. When I was single and I was doing really good with my eating, I just didn't do it. I don't know like how to explain it. Like I got home from work and I would do some sit-ups in the living room in front of the TV and I just didn't eat. Just didn't have the motivation to do it. But now, I guess I don't think it has anything to do with being married, but I just get home and it's the first thing I want to do. And I shouldn't. So what do you do to make sure that doesn't happen to you? I'm posing the question. Secondly, last week's topic was about swimsuits, and apparently there was a question that I left out, and it wasn't, will you be wearing a swimsuit, but where will you be wearing a swimsuit? And last week, David and I actually went to a water park up in Indiana. It's called Holiday World, if you've ever been there. And it was like the first time out of this year that I've really worn a bathing suit, and interesting to see kind of what other people were wearing. And there were a lot of people that I thought shouldn't necessarily be wearing the bathing suit that they were wearing. Granted, a lot of them were teenagers, so they probably don't have the best, decision-making skills in the world. But then also David pointed out that like every single guy was, not every, but most of the guys, like their hormones were raging, and that they were just staring at all of the girls, and that the girls were doing it on purpose, that they were like flaunting themselves and, trying to get that attention. So it was very interesting to be a spectator in a world full of swimsuits and see how people acted around it. And at the same time to kind of see how people looked at you when you were in a bathing suit. I definitely had some people who kind of like gave me the one up and like looked all the way down and all the way up, and I was just kind of like, okay. Like I don't know if they were thinking bad or thinking good, but honestly I don't really give a crap because I don't live in Indiana, and so the chances of me running into somebody that I'm actually going to meet again is very slim to none. So it didn't bother me that I was in a bathing suit in front of a whole bunch of different people. Now, granted, if I was in a water park that was here in Nashville, I might think a little bit differently. I have thought about getting some tickets to a water park here, and besides it being expensive, I guess the possibility of me running into somebody is much greater. And will I be as comfortable around somebody I know as somebody I don't? I hope that everyone's having a good week. I know that, I don't know why I picked up a pen. Next week I think I'm going to try to fool around with doing videos in different parts of my house, because I'm not really like happy with what you all always see behind me, which is like junk. And I'm not happy with the lighting in this room, so maybe next week you will see me in a different place. Maybe.